Haiti is still reeling from Saturday's earthquake. Every day more bodies are found and the death toll continues to rise. But even as the country mourns those already lost, another potentially ruinous problem has arrived. Tropical Storm Grace, with the risk of flash floods, landslides and yet more obstacles hampering the search for survivors. It's a fresh challenge for the government and aid organisations already struggling to get help to a disaster area down a road gangs are battling over. The UN has allocated $8 million to help.
Our humanitarian colleagues are telling us that access to the southern peninsula where the quake hit is challenging because gangs are controlling movements.
Haiti's Prime Minister did make it to the seafront town of Lacaille, one of the worst affected cities.
When I arrived in the south of the country, we saw the destruction. Many houses are destroyed. Rescue teams are working to find victims and survivors in the rubble. One thing I noticed was the dignity of the people despite the situation. They are affected but resilient. They fight to survive.
But even before the storm, the scenes were desperate. Football fields sprawled with survivors, forced to shelter with the few belongings they have left.
Since the earthquake, I didn't feel well. We're on the football field, our home is destroyed, we can't drink the water, and many people are staying here.
Crisis on top of crisis. Last month, the country's president was assassinated. Gang violence continues. And in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Haiti's only just begun its vaccination campaign. Many here are also still traumatized by events further back, the 2010 earthquake that killed hundreds of thousands of people in Port-au-Prince. And in the capital, many people have been sleeping out in the streets, worried about the aftershocks from this earthquake. Well, they're not going to be able to do that now. The storm is here, Haiti is suffering, and the bad news keeps on coming. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.